A little bit of context. Context ke ya hore people in the rurals, people in the village, people at home, they'll say, I'm in the village. People in the village, they don't have money. I need to charge less than people in Gauteng. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying, have you done the research? How did you come to that conclusion? And then the question I'm also posing is, if you go to the ShopRite in Limpopo and the ShopRite in Centurion to buy eggs, does the eggs in Limpopo have the Limpopo price? And the ShopRite in Gauteng, does it have the Gauteng price? Same for the flour, same for the baking powder, same for the oil. So, if the baker in Limpopo and the baker in Gauteng are both buying from the same wholesaler or supermarket at the same price, right? What is it that gives the baker in Limpopo to say, I have to charge less based on the fact that I'm not in Gauteng, even though I am buying at the same price that the Gauteng person is buying the stock? And remember, the baker in Limpopo might even have extra cost because some of the things that that person need, they may be forced to go and buy online. Whereas me, I can just go to a one baking shop in Gauteng and get everything that I need.
One thing that I realized, like I also have the same questions on that one, honestly, because one thing that I realized from Mapela to Mukopani town, it costs 40 rands with a taxi, which means it costs how much? 80 rands. We are low. So, like, and then not here when I go to town, I can't lie. I spend 20 rand to wear low. It's 10 rand going to town, 10 rand coming back to town. I mean from town. So that's my question. More like why? And someone maybe I can go high kilo check out my gogo. They'll be like in the like cake. Then I'm like, no, my cake costs 950 50 centimeters, for example. Then they'll be like, how are we expensive? So I honestly on that one, I honestly have the same question.
Okay. I'll give you a second example. There will be someone who stays in Sandton and someone who stays in Tembisa. No, let's take a little bit far from Tembisa. Nkariko kaiko ke mo na le di shacks or okay, let's just use or let's use Oliven, ne? And then the Sandton lady, you might find that she's not even that good in terms of the decorating skills or the smoothness of the butter icing or something. Mara, for this discussion, let's say they are both using the same suppliers, they're both using the same ingredients. The only difference is where they reside. So for those who understand what I'm talking about, who are in that situation, who feels that they can only charge this amount based on where they are. Did you first test the market based on the pricey or is the right price? Or you just assumed? When I started, what made you decide, or I'm not going to charge like the Gauteng people. I'm going to charge based on where I reside. And if that is the case, what influenced that decision? And at the price that you are charging, are the people buying to your satisfaction?
Carla, what was the first question?
What influenced you to charge you the price that you say is because I'm in the rurals?
Firstly, I'm going to be honest. Please don't judge. We listen, we don't judge.
We listen, we don't judge.
What influenced me, those bakers were badula high, then bachaja low prices. Number two, what influenced me, the people that are around me, they will be complaining. Hey, hey, what? You know? Yeah.
When you go to Shoprite Checkers, you find the price of the oil and the price of the eggs a little bit higher. There was a time where eggs were very expensive.
Yeah, it was, I think, last of
And then when you complain, they will say there's a shortage, or that is the price we are paying from the suppliers. Do they change the price for you? Specifically for you?
No.
So what makes you change the price? What makes you charge less? Irugufe break irioko pumuzomudao. Pumuzomudao. Pumuzomudao.
Hello everyone.
Do you understand my questions and do you relate to the question?
I absolutely understand your question, and just to respond to the initial topic of the people in the rural, I find people in the rural sort of damaging themselves because they don't have the convenience we have. If I need to buy something here around Gauteng, I have Baker's Paradise there, I've got Baker Center, I've got SAB, I've got all the resources close to me. And people at home have to travel 60 kilometers to 100 to get their resources to start baking. So I don't even understand why would you wanna frustrate yourself in charging less and make no profit while you're getting your supplies very far. So initially, I used to have the same mindset to say that because I'm closer to Tembisa where I stay, it's okay, I can charge less. And then I would find that most of my clients in Tembisa don't even have transport. I must still go drop the cakes off. And when I say we are charging transport, they're like complaining, it doesn't make sense. Others will be coming to collect their cake using a taxi, which I will end up taking them home, which was also shooting myself in the foot. So now that I am growing slowly but surely, you'll also get there. I've told myself that I'd rather not bake. I'd rather not make 10 cakes in a weekend and make no money than make one cake a weekend or 2 cakes a month and make something. Because now, it's like at the end of the day, when I sit down doing my hosting, I realize that I spend more time traveling, trying to attend to all the clients who are not even meeting my profit. So now the target is to make profit, not to make 100 cakes. So been there, done that for the longest time. Now it's very important that when you do your costing, even simple things, where I stay, it might be close to Tembisa, but my electricity bill, it's super expensive. Like when I look at my bill on a month that I was quiet, I was not baking, I was like, oh my goodness, this cake's are finishing off my electricity. And the water as well, and the dishwasher, simple things like dishwasher that I was not including initially. My dishwasher would last longer if I'm not doing any dishes for cakes. Mm-hmm. And also I must put my daughter because she complains about doing the dishes for baking. So it's a lot of things that I also need to understand that as a mom, as well a working mom, I don't have time to clean my house. I need to pay someone to come do it. And if I include that in everything, then it's not like it's not needs because I'm baking for charity. I'm catering for people who are not willing to pay the price. So in most cases, even if it might sound rude and stuff, when a client comes through and they tell me how their budget is low, I would gladly refer them to Spa because I know that Spa, they are my supplier. I buy from them. They're already on cost, so their prices are cheaper, even though the quality won't be the same. But I would also suggest, oh no, Spa is like okay, guy. The cake is up another. They're okay. You can work with that, you know. So yeah, so. I fully understand that there are certain things that when you are starting out, you overlook. So in the beginning, when you are still trying to market yourself, it could be okay. to make
Yes,
few losses there and there. But once you are established and you're confident with your work, please do not undermine your own work. Because that's where it comes in, that when you give a person a price, or 850, a cake that should be worth 1,500, you must know that the person you're selling as well. As a customer gets wow, all sides there's probably going to be a lot of flaws there that they're not going to be happy about. So in the beginning, yes, when you're still trying to market, then it's okay. You can, overlook the profit because you're still learning as well. But when you're confident about what you're doing, you need to also consider your worth. It's my current motto that if you can't afford me, it's okay. Like, it's okay. I'm not making for free anymore.
Oh, I thank you, Pumunzo, because people are struggling with pricing. I understand. And then one of the things that we said, it's a factor for determining your price is the area that you are residing. But then I'm thinking, is there a price based on where you are residing? Do you have special suppliers than us? Because if I say I'm buying from ShopRite, Checkers, Pick and Pay, and Spar, when they do their own prices, do they also say eki price ya Limpopo, eki price ya Gauteng? And then if they don't, why us as bakers or as baking but the baked things buying at the same price that the Gauteng people are buying at? Why do we feel the need to adjust our prices? Why do we feel the Gauteng people we are inflating the prices there? If wena o le Limpopo kgona ho rekisa keke for ya 20 centimeter for 600 rand or a 3-tier for 1,200, but here in Gauteng kare 3-tier 15, 20, 25 ke 5,500 or ke 6,500. Surely there is something in the market. There's something does not make sure. How do Petit Sweet? Petit Sweet, hello. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm okay.
Yes, I'm still new. I'm still a beginner baker, so
Uh-huh.
I don't think my 2 cents will will add a value.
Where are you based?
I'm based in Kempton Park, so I'm here in Gauteng.
So you are in Capton Park, and how much are you charging as a beginner? And are you charging based on I'm in Capton Park, I'm a beginner, or you just charge?
No, I've got a costing app, and I check. What I do is I check on TikTok. I follow Aya and all those who bake, so I check what they charge. Then because I'm still new,
So what do you mean you check? What do you mean you check what they charge? Are you saying you go and ask them for a price, then basically you price yours?
No, there are some bakers who post their price list for cakes. So what I do, I've got a cake. I think it's a cake cost app that I use. I check my ingredients, how much they cost, then I add my profit. Then from there, that's what I charge. So for a 15 centimeter cake, I charge around 800. If it's a plain one, because I've got customized, I've got the normal ones.
Okay. To make that cake here, 15 centimeter, 800 rand, how much does it cost you to make it? Petty, this is the critical moment. Moku Trokanteng.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yes.
Yes. I've got my prices that I've made. So I'm using an app.
Apple, when we berekisang uitshepang. Ere, how much does it cost to produce keke ya 15 centimeter.
Not that too much. But I can't say too much.
Okay.
Every 15 centimeter it's around 900 if it's not customized, just the 1 hour cream fair. Then the one where you add the toppings and all those stuff, I charge more.
It costs you 900 to make that cake.
Yes.
And when I would 900.
Yes, it depends on about 2 hours like
in. Apple ew. It tells you must sell this 15 centimeter for 900 rand.
No, including the after I get those ingredients, I add my profit, which for now, because I'm still starting, I give profit in that.
And then Apple area how? The cost of making, not the cost of selling. The cost of making a 15 centimeter, how much is that cost?
Yes. That's why I'm here. I want to learn.
Mamel. Apple ew.
Yes.
To make a 15 centimeter, which you are going to sell for 900 rand.
Yes.
How much does it cost to make it?
To make it is around 450. It depends on which flavor do they want. Then I add my profit.
Okay. So if it is around 450.
Yes.
Apple area how Kenya dishwasher liquid. Kenya.
No. No, I only put the ingredients, only the ingredients that I'm using to bake. I haven't added electricity, all those stuff.
And you don't add?
Yes.
Petrol?
No. That's why I'm here. I want to learn. How are we supposed to
Bakers, can you share the live so that others can also join and be part of the lesson? It is very critical, guys, because when we are done, we go to to the group. Others are like, hey, we missed out. Hey, I joined late. Hey, what? Please, guys, invite your friends, share the live, and like, and tap the screen. If you don't tap the screen, minangsabuya la nagula my life. I'm just reading the comment. Am I at this? I am at the stage where I don't have it. Okay, done. I'm at the stage where if I don't have, it's okay than undercharge. I started baking last year. Ndifita Bero, I think you need to come here and explain what you are saying. When we were doing the basics of cake pricing, I think last week, there were people who were saying they negotiate. So they rather bake a cake at a loss than not to bake at all. Is that what you are saying? Mommy. Okay, somebody's laughing. Teach her. What did I do now? Okay, it's sad to see some of us laughing here on comment. Most of us started here. Okay, what are people laughing? Let's first start there. Ndipfitabero, why people are laughing?
No, I don't think they are laughing because of I don't know, but I think they are laughing. They are laughing just because Petty, maybe you're not understanding it. Like I don't know. But on my side, I don't think like Uri, you are getting each other.
No, we ended up getting each other. At first, we were not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she was not. I think she was not understanding my question.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you are at a point where you rather you will bake rather than not to bake.
No, I said I'm at a point where I don't mind having no orders at all.
Oh.
than baking a cake and then not making any profit.
Okay, I understand. To get to that level, it is another self growth level that you reach. When you starting, I think when you are starting, it is okay maybe for a month or two, because you want to get as much practice as you can.
Yeah.
And then if you just bake for yourself, you end up getting tired of baking for yourself and eating the cakes. So you want to test the market with your product. But my advice is, while you are at it, while you are doing that, be honest, very transparent. Tell the client what they're going to expect. Lower their expectation if it's too high, so that you avoid what I ordered versus what I got. You avoid bad reviews. So you already gave yourself a review before the client even sees the cake or eat the cake, whatever. But on that note, yes, you might be bad with the decoration, because most of the time what delays us to make it or to feel confident, it will be the decoration. But can we at least make sure the taste is on point? So if you know that you are struggling with the taste, go and get help. Go and attend classes. Practice and practice and practice. So when you'll be charging a little bit less, it's not because your cake, first of all, cake e nngwe ya motho o mong a re akreleng ba re bento cake. I could see it looks a little bit dry, but I didn't want to get into that too much. There are people who are selling recipes. There are come to fruit. There are people who are selling recipes. There are people who are offering classes. Go and equip yourself. There are so many recipes on TikTok, in YouTube, Facebook. Try them. So people are lazy to try. They want something that is confirmed, something that somebody has already tested and just came and say, voila. They don't want to test on their own. So Mandy Home Baker, hello. Mandix? Hello. Okay. I don't think she's here. But she's making noise. Okay. We continue with the pricing. For those who joined late, we are... I'm okay.
No, I have a poor connection.
Sorry.
Hello.
You can hear you.
Hi, Sissy.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Okay, let's say while she's still fixing the connection, let's continue. Basically, this is just a continuation of what do you call it? Let me... Mandis, can you mute? Yeah. Okay. Strategy is gone. But as we started, still on the pricing issue, we are looking at the people in Gauteng and people who are so in rural or Mahayeng, that what makes them say because they're at home, they will charge less. And the Gauteng people will say, because I'm in the urban space, I will charge more. If both the Limpopo baker and the Gauteng baker, if both of us are buying from the same suppliers, that is where we are. Ndifita Bell, where are you based?
I'm based in Limpopo, Louis Richard.
Oh, so where are you buying the flour The oil, the eggs, the decorating things.
My flour is from Woolworths. I normally buy Woolworths, and then oil. I check the specials, and then the icing, and I buy Cutter Pack. So it depends. I'm always checking, the specials on the shops. Like whenever the flour is 34 rand, like at Woolworths, I always go buy in bulk.
And I also buy it for 34 rand here in Gauteng.
Yeah.
At Willis. And usually Willis, that special is oil ka 64 rand. Le sugar.
Yeah. The sugar normally is 49 rand.
Yeah, bon. So you are in Limpopo, Lutrigat. I'm in Centurion, Pretoria. But both of us are now buying from the same supplier. Mahik reka ko mostly checkers. And reka extra large or jumbo. Usually, ili more special in kibo 89 or 99.
10 rand, yeah.
Yeah. But the usual price is 119. The usual price is 119.
Yeah.
Then icing, I use mostly ganache. My icing 5 kg ki 130. And then I use the wooden spoon.
Now I buy 3 kg, I think it's 95 rand.
3 kg of what?
Icing.
90 rand.
Yeah.
And I buy 5 for 130.
Wow. You are like you.
Maybe yours is pure icing.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. But I once heard someone say, Kopram G, they sell, is it 50 kg or 20 kg? But the pricing, it was okay, but for someone who is busier. But for me, it was not, it was not the best option.
Okay, so now we already know more or less now we're buying more or less same ingredients. The only difference is how much to use. So I want to know your 15 centimeter.
Okay.
How much are you charging?
Normally, the 15 centimeter, just a normal cake with a happy birthday, I charge, it's 500 rand. Gable.
I think you need to sell few to be able to count the profit.
Yeah.
Because
so normally
just 2 seconds before we continue. So how it makes 550? How much does it cost you to produce it?
It's very costly because some of the bakers here they charge 450.
Why do you look at some of the bakers?
No, I don't like it. I've only baked. I think it's been a year. Yeah, I turned year. I started baking last year around April, May. So when I started baking, my cakes were the 15 centimeter was 400 rand.
From who? From you?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I started baking.
Okay.
In fact, it was an advice from the person who taught me how to bake because air cakes they are from 600 rand. So she was like, since you are still starting, first get customers and then
I understand.
So I only had with decorating, but my sponge was very perfect. So I managed to get more customers because the customers will come back because of the taste, not the decoration. So after I learned how to decorate, maybe I was getting better, then I increased to 450. And then again 500. So I think I'm still gonna go up.
But 25 kg ki 680. I get to be kokai. Yeah, I think when I was buying 25 kg, I was buying for nearly 500, not 500, nearly 500. But remember, there's a pure icing, or macro, but I go macro. There's a pure icing, and that icing which is mixed with corn flour, cornstarch, corn flour. Yeah.
And then NM Sweet Cake says 15 centimeter width or height.
I keep on it, but I didn't read it because I can't understand the question. When do you understand? Maybe because she is a baker, unless if she's a new baker.
I think, if I can just assume, I think she just wants to understand whether we also, because 15 centimeter height would also increase your price.
Okay.
Because it's a little bit higher.
Let's not assume she's here. NM Baker, can you explain your comment?
Dumela Bakers.
Dumela.
I'm a 2 months old baby, so that's why I'm even asking this question. And my husband Ulwanilina and said for the ingredients you buy, your cakes are too cheap. So what I mean is when we say 15, are we saying the pan or going up? 15 centimeters.
Circumference.
Because currently I'm baking 20 centimeters and round about the same price.
So,
450, 500.
Where are you based?
In Kempton Park.
Wow.
20 centimeter, 20 centimeter, 450. Is that what you said? 20 centimeter, 450. Sissy, how did you get to 450? How much does it cost you to produce that cake?
Yes, I did try to do a costing,
Mm-hmm.
but I think my costing is not accurate because, a cup is like 250 mils,
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also the grams conversion, let's say, on the flour. So now I ordered a scale. I'm waiting for it to be delivered to do a proper costing. So I don't even think that my costing is right. So basically, I don't know how much it takes me. Like one of this cake that you see on my profile picture, because it was a friend, I charged her 300 for this.
You charged her what?
300.
So in your business there is friends price and there is strangers price.
I think because I'm still starting, I was like doing a sort of a launch special, and that launch special killed me because I was charging everything 300 rand.
Not only your friend, everyone.
Everyone at that point.
Okay,
Yes.
because if I am your friend or I am your relative and you are starting, I should be the one cheering for you. I should be the one paying more plus the tip. Because I want you to do well. I want you to excel. But a friend who comes and support me because the price is less. When I started, I didn't know better. But now I know better. The friend should pay more or even give me the tip if they are supporting me because they want me to do good.
Yeah.
Can I hear amen if you agree with me? Agree. Now you know me. You know my struggles. You know my visions and my plans. And you know I am starting. I need all the support I can get. And as my friend, as my relative, you don't buy cakes every day. You buy once in a while. Can that once in a while ya hago? Italy some tipunyana, some extra paynyana to show her own supporter from the from within your heart. It's saying her own supporter because could not charge less.
How do we be brave enough to quote a price?
How nabu bravery? Oh, if you are honest, there is no need to be brave. The thing that stands in your way is because even you yourself, you don't know how much it cost you to make that cake. So, how are the pricing? You're looking at that pricing, you're looking at your pocket, and you ask yourself, how much am I willing to pay for this cake? Because how na basis on where to price that cake. Mara, if when you've done the work, you've done the calculations, you know, to make this cake, it cost me 700 rand. There's no way you will sell it for 450. I'm telling you. But because you don't know, you are only happy with the money that got into your account. And you don't worry about the money that went out to buy the stock. If two people buy stock from you, cake from you, baraka cake 450, you're excited that I've got 900 rand in my bank account. But what about the money it's willing? That doesn't matter to you. How it's really. And and most of the time you don't even know who's really guy. So if when utswile mo utswere 500 rand, wabua utswere 20 rand, ne? And then you get two customers. Two customers, omo offer 300, omo offer 300. When you are excited, because now you've got 600 rand. But what about the 480? Irregular stock. Hurry. How can you 600? 1 minus 480. What's it 120? And then from the 120, is it enough for you to get paid, for you to make profit, for you to add electricity? That time petrol. So you're not even counting it because you feel like kids like a koloyaka. You don't understand who kids really. Kids who your reka stock. I didn't just go out. The business made me to go out. And when I was out there, I felt hungry. Then I bought myself a pie. But if I was home, I would have eaten tea and bread. I would have eaten pap. And I wouldn't have bought the pie.
I hear you. Proud.
Baked by Tom.
Thank you.
If you can put just say we are put mama harifit. Barry, those who are finished speaking, can they please go down so there will be space? And I invited Ntombi. She didn't come here because I wanted to give her the space. We won't beat wave. Don't start cheap, otherwise you will attract wrong customer. That is a very good advice. Say amen if you agree with that. But amen. In Clayville, they start from 850. In Clayville, Temusho, is Temusho here? Let me invite Temusho so that she can explain the Clayville issue. I'm based in Cape Town Park. 20 centimeters starts from 1,000 to Beckett Chiki Mutuagare at Ansalu. Guys, Exquisite Deluxe Cake GG. However, Kabali is good. We won't beat you up. Nami, I charge 20 centimeter with filling and all for 600 when I started. Baked by Tesh. Okay, but Araba, Utamail, Olarling, please beat me up. Baked by Shiu. Baked by Ta, please mute. Have a standard price for everyone. Who should make standard prices for everyone? That's highly impossible. Have you ever, if Okrea, ShopRite, Ibuali Checkers, Ibuali Pick and Pay, Ibuali Spa, Ibuali Wulisiari, for Iwisa 2.5 kg, let us all charge 60 rand. Ke price fixing, but only twar. Someone will draw noisy, guys. Can someone mute? Yeah. I'm just reading the comment, then I will be with you guys. But in Clayville, in Clayville, cake starts from 850. 25 kg, yeah, you let's pure icing, ki 650. It's true, mommy. Amen, 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 amen. I guess we get amen time kwa tandazi. Wala na kya say tandaza. How many? And then 20 centimeter is 8 inch. Hi, bakers. Am I late? Ayoli Bakes. Lucky for you, I'm also recording on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube and listen. So I've got another phone here. I've got this one. Don't start cheap. I already read that one. The problem is we don't know how to do costing. Yes, and costing naki dirloko accounting as accounting as part of my cost accounting. So ngiyenzile i-cost accounting mina. So at that time it didn't make quite sense, but sengiyayibona ukuthi kuyavela. It's like the same siyenza ama clay esikolweni siyenza umuntu nge-soil and water. Now I can see they were preparing me for doing cakes. Yeah. 20 centimeter for 450. Hello. You went out and you paid for petrol. Yeah, hard drive they're charging. I think some of the advices. We agree with what you are saying, Mama. Thank you, Nyabong. Oh, manity, amen, amen, amen. Oh, now I know. Okay, bake it, bake it. Hello.
Hello, Sis Chivilo. Hello, everyone.
I know you have been baking for quite some time, for years.
Yes.
And then I'm interested when you say in Captain Park, they start from.
I start from.
Oh, it's I. Sorry.
I.
Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to know how did they start from. Utsamaile review the baker from baker. And then most people do that. You find people coming to your inbox, Babutsa, hi, how much is this cake? Once we're not umufa the breakdown and everything, then I charge you not to the other customer. So I wanted us to address that issue, thinking that is what you are doing.
No, I'm talking about me, not any other person or any other baker.
And the 1,002 is for 20 centimeter.
Yes, I'm referring to 20 centimeter, three layer. Just a happy birthday. No feeling, it's just a buttercream.
Okay.
Just happy birthday, maybe, and a jinyana and a fondant name.
And then I always hear people worry 3 layers, 4 layers, what layers? But the question is also, is there a scale for these layers? Because people usually say 3 layers as if there is a standard scale. Your layer could be this thick and my layer can be this thick. So I think now usually I will tell you the height in centimeter. When I started, it used to be between 14 and 15, right?
Okay.
Then I upgraded to 16, and usually now I'm making 18 to 20. Okay. So the slices inside, if it's 15 centimeter, they're usually 6. If it's 18 and 20, they're mostly 5. Sometimes on the 18, they can also be 6, depending on the thickness of them. So then it comes back to the story of my 15 centimeter is 1.3. It's 1.3 when you are getting 6 layers of slices. And there is filling, and there is meringue, and there is ganache. And when now you are saying my 20 centimeter, it's only 3 slices. There is no filling, there is no ganache, it's butter icing, it's 1.2. You might find that your pricing is actually very right. It's because I'm adding a whole lot of things in to enhance the taste, and a low budget cake, because that's not what my market is all about. So back to the people who usually post in the group, how much can I charge for this cake? Full stop. Right? I would say charge at 1.6. I'm talking to a person who charges 600 rand. So that person is the first person to go around spreading wrong rumors. Exquisite Deluxe Cake is extremely expensive. So pricing, it's very much personal. Varimina, I'm relocating to Omonde next month. I'm stressing. Yo, when you still have to build clientele, tell your customers you have moved. The customers who cannot collect in Omonde will now have to find a new baker because when you have moved. When una list koroponyana says nyani 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 nyani. But while we are there, let me move to.
I went through the same route. Yeah, was a charge right, and believe me, it's not easy. O feleletsa e le gore o fela pelo because o kry tšhelete e nyane, but at the end of the day you are tired. So I don't wanna lie. Once you thoma o charge right, then wena o ba le matla to continue because you know gore your work is worth it to be paid. So yeah. I wish every baker a ka le ena and a thome from scratch a ntse a tseba gore o tlo kgona go charge right so that a kgone go attracta motho o ne a bolela mo o right because once o thoma o charge less ke mo e leng gore di-customer tse di nyakang go reka less di tlotle but once you charge right then le di-customer tse wena o nyakang tse e leng gore ba bona mmereko wa go o le worthy ba tlo kgona go tla then le wena o ba le maatla then the business is growing.
Let's I invited Gaugelo Moja Uri. Location does play a role in pricing, and which is what we're talking about today. So I'm looking for someone who will engage me on that because I can we're breaking down this pricing, the factors it's affecting this pricing. So today I was looking at the location. Why does it have to play a huge role more pricing yadi cake if we're both buying from the same supplier? Baked by Ta, akitsibul usali na. Baked by Ta.
Good evening, I'm here.
Yes, where are you based?
I'm based in Johannesburg, Soweto.
Soweto. And then do you agree with the thing your location plays an important role in pricing your cakes?
That one for me is a bit shaky because of also being in someone's shoes is very important because I have experience as emakhaya and emakhaya nala esikhona angeke kuze kufane but again abantu basemakhaya banemali guys abantu basemakhaya banemali they actually have money so I personally this is my opinion ukuthi based on you buying the ingredients because I'm sure your nearest supplier is costly because they are probably the only person in the area. That means you should also charge accordingly because they will not reduce the price because basemakai. They will actually make money out of that. They will reduce because they are probably the only supplier around. So when you charge less, that means you are actually paying for those ingredients from your own pocket. That's my opinion.
Thank you. It's not me. It's baked butter. It's not me. Love your creations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I also wanted to share something. There's something that was said about this thing of making your cakes less pricey because of you want to build a customer base. And I'm not judging anyone because I also started there. I was also made to believe that first build a client base until I realized that selling a 20 centimeter cake for 600 rands is actually unaliving me right now. I have to increase prices. And immediately when I started working on my costing, that meant I had to rebrand. It was like rebranding. When you increase your prices, you are rebranding because all of those customers that were buying from you, they will no longer come because they are used to getting this cake for 600 and now you're selling it for 1.2. So it means you are now calling a whole new market, which is a bit tricky, but it is doable. And there was someone else lastly who said that they are not confident with calling out price. I was also not confident until these lives taught me to call your price. People will pay. And people are paying without arguing. Sometimes I even thank God. I'm like, God, thank you for the customers that I get, because they ask you how much, and they even insist on paying before you can even give them a formal invoice. That's when I realized, I've been enabling people to get cakes for free. It's not that customers really don't want to pay, but we actually are giving them these cakes for free. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to share based on my experience.
And then while you are at it, abantu basemakhaya, you guys are saying they don't like quality. Because I'll tell you what, ithi ngihambe ngiye emakhaya ngicale isikolo ne which is known to give good quality education. People will even get their kids to travel maybe for an hour in a transport just ukulanda leyo education leyo semakhaya.
That is very true. And abantu basemakhaya bayithanda into enhle engasiye yamuntu azakutshela ukuthi le ngifuna kube yami kuphela, ngifuna umazibanibani, ngifuna bangibone kahle. Abantu basemakhaya, guys, banemali. They have money to spend, they are willing to spend, and bayazithanda izinto ezinhle ekwezabe ezi-unique to them. That's what I've noticed being intombazane yasemakhaya.
Okay.
Thank you.
It is Lalele, love your.
Hi guys.
Yes, how are you?
I'm all good, and you?
Hi, we are fine.
I'm from Pangeni, by Richards Bay. Richards Bay is the bigger town, so people know Richards Bay.
Yes.
I think e-location does affect the pricing, not only from abantu abasebenza khona, but also what other bakers are charging. Ne? But before I get to that, I want to go back to point, the other baker who bakes 20 centimeters or 450. She must check her own recipe, because I checked her cakes with profile like. Her cakes are a bit shorter. So maybe she will get the advice to her, no, 20 centimeters is too cheap, but her cakes are shorter compared to Amanyama cakes. So that's why it's important to check your own recipe. So that's the only thing I want to say with regards to Lokone. Okay, back to location. Around my area, I feel like Ama bakers are charging what I always call KZN prices. For example, for my birthday, I wanted to get a cake not baked by me. So I looked for a good baker in my area, and I told her, Beatrice, she has beautiful cakes. Beautiful cakes. And I ordered a bento cake. Bento cake was a 6-inch. Fresh cream was very nice. Everything was perfect. Decoration was perfect. But for a price, I could have easily, if I was in Joburg, paid double that amount. So if abantu who are as good as her or charging women 650, how will I, who's not that good, be confident enough to charge a 200 rand extra? If good bakers in my area ban a price at
Who says when you're not good enough?
No, I know I'm good enough, but we are also not here. We are guided by the prices around us.
Ufuna nukuma price around you.
At the end of the day, we want customers.
Okay, you want customer at all cost, regardless of how much the customer will pay.
We need to keep busy. As long as the profit rate is good enough, I guess.
It is possible when see a good spoonful bakes. Spoonful bakes.
Hello, good evening, ladies.
Mhm.
Because I may not be sick. Yeah, the issue of pricing depending on the area that you are based at, it's something that we are all relatable of, despite the fact that out of the insights that we're getting from the information that you're providing, we end up thinking, oh, yeah, she's right, but we are not all doing what you are advising us of. And I also believe it takes experience, because in this process of baking, when we start, at first, our main focus is recipe. Did I get the sponge right? And then you start looking around, you go to Baker's Bean, and then you find the second supplier, and then you see the differences in the equipment and the packaging material that you buy. Then you stick to your own. But then I think the issue of costing is something that we have over the time, because we undermine ourselves. You think when you are new, you have to be cheap. And also, because before you started baking, there were people in the area who were baking. Then you make them your scale. You judge yourself based on them. And hence I said that experience plays a very good role in this whole thing. There are people who are, like the lady who spoke previously, is it Love Yours? She mentioned that she has seen that there are people who are producing very good product and they're underselling themselves. So she's not confident to charge herself more than them. It's also the same with me. And the thing also that I think it could be a key point in this whole thing is that the congestion. Everyone wants to be a baker now. And nobody wants to own a business and not run it. Because what I picked up is I can end a whole week without having an order. But honestly, I value my work so much. So lately I have been pricing myself, and the more you go, the more you start seeing that you are actually a step behind. Even though I can say my 18 centimeter with butter icing is 1.150, and with ganache I would charge it 1.3. And then I find that this person that is offering ganache lessons, which I think she's more on the advanced level than myself, is still charging her long heightened cakes 1.3. And I see her as an expert. And I think to myself, okay, I've had clients before, and not that I was charging too low. Maybe, okay, yeah, I can say that. Actually, I'm not going to be my own judge of that, because someone who was in the field before me would say, yes, you undercharged yourself, but we learn as we go. So that lady, when I noticed that her cakes were like 1.350, and I'm like, so did I go too fast to that level? Maybe that's why people are not coming anymore. But honestly, I have not even compromised or changed any quality of I have my signature sponge, and I'm not willing to change it. So there are people who are coming back for that. They're like, specifically, we want your cake. It doesn't only just look good, it tastes good. And then the freshness, it also lasts longer. So you ask yourself, okay, why are they no longer coming? You know why? Because even us as the sellers or the business owners, we are comparing ourselves with the other business owners. Even the customers are also doing the same. Remember, you shop around. They shop around, they look at the profiles, and they're like, they didn't go to that person because they thought she's selling luxury cakes, so it's too expensive. They come to you hoping that maybe the price will be a little lesser, and only to find you are charging the same price, and they're like, okay, let me go to her. But I can say that because of competition, maybe we need to level ourselves up more. But also, we should not underestimate our potential. We need to really agree to price ourselves a worthy price, because standing up and baking the entire time, guys, it affects more than your pocket. It goes into your emotions. I believe even after starting this business, I think I've developed more anxiety than anything. So it affects you overall. Your ankles, they swell up. You can never get your ankle shape back. All those costs, they must be worth it, guys. And also another thing, we must stop being social workers in this business. We are baking. The main reason we started a business is to create profit. And if you're gonna be a counselor and you're judging a person, she's not gonna afford it. I cried so much when I sold someone a shit cake. Another thing, customers don't know, and we think they do know. So charge your worthy price and leave it at that. Do not discuss your invoice. Discuss the item that the customer wants. You just specify their allergies, the shape of the cake if they want, all the details of the cake. You send your invoice and stop discussing. Don't preach about your invoice. Send it and keep quiet. I don't see white business owners discussing and holding a council with us when it comes to price. And us as Black people, we also have a tendency of undermining our own businesses. Even our core Black people would say, I want to buy it from her. Imagine someone who's organizing an event. They want decor, they want catering, they want the cake. They pay all these things and they're like, Svanivani Spoonful Bakes will have to bear with me. She wants to come and negotiate with me. But she will know that she will do that because I'm a black person. You understand? So we give them room to negotiate. That's why they do that. So when I sold that sheet cake, I realized I used a lot of material for the thing. And people tend to think that cakes are cheaper than tall standing cakes. It's the same ingredients. And you also want to make it visible. So it's flat. You're adding more and more ingredients. It can actually cost more than a tall standing cake. And then you still want to charge it less. You know, when the customer came here, driving a luxurious SUV, and I was like, I spoke French. All night I was so depressed, and then I needed to be consoled, but it does not change my bank balance. So guys, let's choose wise. If they come, they don't come. And if they do stay, those that value your quality, they will stay. I love Ayadish so much that she never compromised herself. She puts a price and she does not negotiate. So yeah, ladies, I can go on and on until next morning. But yeah, it's exactly that. Thank you.
Okay, I think for now I need to stop the live on YouTube, but we can continue here. The question that we had when we started is, should there be a price for Gauteng compared to Amakaya villages home if we are both buying from the same supplier and let's assume using the same recipe? Up until now, I haven't got an answer that says yes because of 1, 2, 3. I've given an example of when people say abantu amakhaya abanamali.
I actually responded that by text saying that we cannot have a recommended selling price. We are not going to the factory to pick up cakes and reselling. This is not a distribution business. You are creating with your own hands. And the fact that we don't have insurance in this business, guys, you need to understand sometimes it's not the customer's fault that you're not a professional baker yet. But things can go wrong even when a person has been trained to be a pastry chef. Things can go wrong. So who covers those costs? So these items that we are selling, we are not receiving sponge cakes from a factory whereby you buy one for 6 rand and then recommended selling price is 6 rand 50. And what you do, because it's custom means according to your own needs. Now you're gonna tell me when you can't taste my sugar and I must change to white sugar. Say, for instance, brown sugar is cheaper than white sugar. Or the area where I'm stocking mine, we are not stocking from the same place, guys. It could never work. We can never have a recommended selling price for anything that is done by custom. That's why guys. There's a huge difference. So let's just value ourselves. So recommend selling price, it's a big no. Thank you.
Thank you. As I was saying, 2 seconds, I need to wrap a live here or more YouTube because it can become very long for someone attending or recapping on the things that was discussed. We can either do a part 2 of today's live. Um, I am not sure if there's people who still want to add more on the pricing yako, the suburban pricing yako, the villaging. Why should they differ? And if they differ, why should the difference be a fraction? Why should it be motho wa Limpopo o charge 400 rand mara wa mo Gauteng o charge 1.2 if re reka ko same price? Hora hore there is something wrong in the market, or there is someone who's not doing their work, or there's someone who's taking advantage of the market and the area that they are. They are hey, okay, sorry guys, can recover from flu. So for the YouTube, bye. And okay.